So here's something I have noticed over the past couple of years. I have noticed that quite a few of you have a very difficult time holding multiple truths. Actually, I think that this is part of the human condition. This is something all human beings have difficulty with. Holding multiple truths in our head at the same time is very, very hard. We do not want the world to be complicated. We want it to be easy for us to understand. And our minds naturally want to break things down. Black and white, good and evil. Light and darkness, north and south. Unfortunately, the world does not work that way. And I have found, over the last several years, that one of the places people have the most difficulty with this is around religion. We do not want to hold the complexities of religion in our head. And frankly, to most people, including myself, it often feels like a very impossible task. But we are a species who put a man on the moon. We are no strangers to the impossible. And so I must ask, moving forward, you try your best to hold the multiple truths of religion in your head and in your heart. Because in every single religion on earth, if you look through its history, you will find both some of the greatest accomplishments of mankind as well as its greatest atrocities. And neither one is more important than the other. I have found that many of my fellow Christians, we tend to get very defensive of our faith. When people critique it, sometimes we do not handle that critique the way we should. Sometimes we do not listen to the critique provided, because that critique feels like an attack on our faith. Likewise, I have noticed people who are not of that particular faith, who may be of a different faith or no faith entirely, for whomst, whenever someone is celebrating their faith, they feel the need to point out every atrocity that faith has ever committed. And to not do so feels like undermining suffering. In this situation, we are being asked to hold multiple truths. I often see people interacting with Muslims in this way as well, with Jewish people, with Hindu people. And this is not to say we should never speak up against injustice, that we should treat these institutions created by men as infallible. As you know, if you've been here for a while, that is certainly not something I believe in. But we must hold in our hearts multiple truths. And the multiple truths we are being asked to hold in our hearts right now are the truth that, number one, the Vatican, as an institution, has spent millions upon millions of dollars covering up the abuse of children. An act that, in my opinion, should be judged by both man and God. The second truth we have to hold in our heads and hearts is that Catholicism is the religion of most of the people who are being plucked from American streets right now and thrown into a hole in El Salvador never to be seen again. It is also the religion of many of the people putting them there. And we now have a pope that holds immense power and is actively pursuing justice for those people. All of these things are true. Every last one of them, and none of them can or should be held with any less importance than the other. So I am not asking you to stay silent. I am not asking you to abandon your faith. I am asking you to hold multiple truths in your head at once. And it will be difficult, but it has to be done.